It went live again. I know now what happened. Okay, let me turn on some lights. Why is my hair crooked? I think maybe I'm too high. Let's see. I'll take down one of the books. That's better. I think that's the height I need. All right. Let me turn on some lights, y'all. It went live without me hitting the button, which is probably what happened the last time. So let me just turn on some lights. There we go. That's better. Today is a wrap up day for the Daniel fast that I was on. I didn't really make it public, but I was on a fast. The Daniel fast is an interesting thing. I remember people going on the Daniel fast years ago when I was at, when I was in Christianity. I usually say Christian sanity, but I'll be kind only because of the gospel singers are insane. Anyhow, and I remember I had a friend who was from Jamaica. It happened in Canada, but she was from Jamaica. She was just like, girl, I'm ready for my curry goat, I'm ready for my rice peas and, oh boy, rice peas and oxtail. She says, I'm ready for meat. I am tired of all this carbohydrate. But to be quite honest, it, I didn't find it really all that bad. I think because I have been a vegetarian before, it didn't really trouble me very much. Now, let me go and say what the Daniel fast is all about. It is found in Daniel chapter 1, verse 12. And Daniel says to, I can't remember which king it is, whether it's Darius or, yeah, I think it's Darius. He says, please test your servants for 10 days and let them give us vegetables, which is pulses, to eat and water to drink. So, vegetables, beans, I would say fruits are included in that. When you go and see a Daniel fast, they tell you that you have vegetables and fruits that are supposed to be done. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you find this informative. Anyways, but the 30 days, or sorry, the 21 days was when Daniel mourned for 3 weeks. So I don't know how they put the two and two together because technically speaking, Daniel did the fast for 10 days, but they bumped it to 21. So I did it for the 21, and you're not to eat any meat. So no chicken, fish, eggs for us brown people. It is a challenge to not eat chicken, but no chicken, no beef, no eggs, no milk products, sugar, or yeast, right? You're only supposed to have whole grains, beans and peas and legumes, fruits and vegetables, and water. It says you're not allowed to have herbal teas, but I had a herbal tea every now and again. But what I would do is have water and then sprig some lemon in it or sprig a little bit of ginger in it. So, like I said, it wasn't that hard for me because I have been a vegetarian before. So it was basically just being a vegetarian. But also, I don't eat a lot of sugar because I had that small bowel surgery years and years ago. So if I eat a lot of sugar, I really get major cramping. So I've not been eating a lot of sugar in the first place. So this was good in that the little bit of sugar that I did eat, it just cleared my palate. So I didn't really have any problem with the sugar part, not at all. The thing that I have uh, a soft spot for is chips. And I'm not talking fancy chips, I'm talking just plain chips. I love chips and French fries, well done French fries. So I didn't have any French fries or chips for 3 weeks. And in actuality, I have not had any regular chips or French fries since the beginning of January. So this is a huge thing for me to not have French fries. Like when I was in East Africa and they had chipsy, oh, I loved it. Chipsy and cuckoo, you got me. Chicken and chips, I am that kind of girl. So that was hard. But because it got off my palate, I now have not actually reintroduced it back into my diet. I haven't really lost any weight because of the Daniel fast. Like I said, I have already been not eating a lot of sugar and stuff like that. So what happened was I did start shrinking. What I found hard was because I was eating so many fruits and vegetables, I didn't drink as much water. So if I had drank more water, I think I would have lost a good bit of weight. But I had a hard time because I had so much water going into my system to drink more water. So I found myself getting dehydrated sometimes. Let me The one thing that happened was if I didn't plan and I was going somewhere and I picked up something to try and snack on, it always caused a problem. So if I decided to snack and get a donut or a muffin, when I got that donut, which is very bizarre, I buy from one specific place. I don't buy all over the place because I like the coffee in one spot when I do go and get a coffee. Even when I decided to try and get something to eat because I didn't plan, the Most High would send something really bad. So there was a plain donut, and I said, okay, I'll have this to tide me over until I can get back to the house. The donut was terrible. I don't know if it's because my palate had already changed, but when you looked inside, it was kind of like every time I tried to do something because I didn't plan, it backfired. So it was kind of like you should have planned. The Most High telling me, you should have planned. You set yourself up for this fast. You should have planned better. So, like I said, it was not hard. I was a vegetarian before, so this was just me now looking at different ways of eating. And there are things that I'm going to keep. Like I made I made a video to try and put it in the in the blog post, but it wouldn't come up or it wouldn't take the video. So it was a nut cake that I had made. And instead of using egg whites like some people do, I used ground chia seeds and ground flax seeds. And it turned out really well. And it was actually something that I enjoyed eating. If I needed a snack, it was something that was amazing to tide me over because the flax and the chia seeds just kind of made you full. So I have to figure out a recipe and maybe one day I will put that up somewhere. But let me now go through the results that I had from the various things like the physical, the mental, and stuff like that. So, like I said, physically, I didn't really lose any weight. What I did do was find a better way of eating things. So, I've not gone back to a lot of the ways I used to eat before. I definitely, like I said, I have a small bowel thing. I also had limited my milk intake. So, I am definitely not getting a lot of milk anymore into my system. I may have 1 cup of tea with a little bit of milk in it, but I'm not going to be having a lot of milk in my system while I'm in Babylon. If I'm in Africa or if I'm in the Caribbean, I can handle it, but my stomach cannot handle it here. So I had some, like I made chicken with mashed potatoes and things like that. The next day, my stomach was just like, girl, what you trying to do? So my stomach cannot handle the excess milk. And I put cheese. I made those mashed potatoes really, really rich. So my stomach could not handle it. So milk has been taken off my system. Now when I go and I have my coffee, when I had a small, I used to have it double double. Now I can have it double cream, single sugar. And if I have the coffee, then I won't have anything else with milk in it throughout the day. Um, Tea, I now can have it just with a half a teaspoon, and I use honey. I don't use sugar anymore. So that is the major change. And I'm actually going to go back to the way we used to eat in the Caribbean because that is kind of how I ate throughout this time. And it really works for me. It works for me, not necessarily the heavy duty um, fats and stuff, but at least the grains and having more beans in my diet. So no more deep fried chips. I also used to love, I love hot dogs. I love hot dogs, but I'm not going to be eating them anymore. It just, I haven't eaten it for a month, so why start back now? That's the way I'm looking at it. So I'm going to bump the emotional, spiritual, mental all into one. And what the Most High, I had been praying about a breakthrough in one specific area. And for the whole fast, I kept praying, I kept praying, I kept praying. And it's like, yeah, I want this thing to be, like, I want this to be broken through. So I think the second to last day of the fast, I happened to come across a video on my feed, and it said that if you're having this particular thing, here's here's a good video for you. So I watched the video, and throughout the video there were a couple of prayers, and I took down one of the prayers. I wrote it down and made it mine. And that, excuse me, that evening I said I'm praying this prayer. And it was also lunar changing, so I knew that it was in a good position for a breakthrough. So I prayed that prayer. I woke up at, I think I was up at 2 o'clock, and that was a good time to be doing strong prayers. So I did this prayer, and I went in and I really petitioned the Most High, and I petitioned my angelic hosts, and I petitioned everybody that possibly could come and assist me. And I went to sleep. And that night, I had the most amazing sleep. The most amazing sleep. And since that time, every time I go to bed and I sleep, I feel like I'm being surrounded by people protecting me or angelic hosts protecting me. It was like that needed to happen. But the next day, the problem that I've been praying about, I could see a physical change because it had to do with a physical person. So I saw a physical change. And since that day, things have not gone back to the way it was before. So I needed that prayer. That prayer just was like, and I don't know if the fast had helped or what, but either way, that breakthrough happened for that. I also was praying about moving, and I got some more details about that. But the biggest part in the spiritual was that the Most High showed me the generational curses. The generational curses that I had been the one to carry out the task of breaking. And what I saw was that he showed me what I thought I saw when I was a child, when I was a teenager. He showed me that those things are still there. Those people are still fo- following that path that you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. You want to give people a little bit of leeway. No, 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 no. He showed me that the people that I thought were this, they are that, like etched in stone. So I knew what curses I had to be praying against because I'm in a situation where I'm living with some of my relatives. That can really affect your day to day. So I now know how to make sure I pray things daily to cover myself so that I don't take in any of those things that these people are functioning in. And it's huge, right? So if you know that you are a generational curse breaker, those are things that it's a daily day. It's a daily walk. It's not just something that you do once and it's done. Sometimes you have to continually cast it down, cast it down, cast it down. And I have to cast mine down regularly because I'm still in the environment. So financially, that's the last one, I think. Yeah. I did not get a huge financial breakthrough. I was hoping to get like some people say, "Oh my gosh, I got a job doing the Daniel fast and ting ting ting." That didn't happen for me. But what did happen was that I got a mental breakthrough, and it was a shift in such a way that all the things that I've been seeing that I was supposed to be doing financially can now come to pass. It I don't know how to describe it, but sometimes, well, not sometimes, it has to happen here first. It has to happen here first. So if you don't start with the mental, then the physical, it can't happen, right? It always starts in the mind first. So I had a great mental shift, and yeah, okay, I see now. I wrote something here, something connected to the business. I was making, in my mind, I had seen a way of doing things, and it looked so complicated to me. And once I got on a specific site and I started tinkering, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So some of the things that I really thought were going to be challenges, they were challenges here that I just needed to step out in faith. Take that little leap of courage, take that little leap of faith, and the wall just crumbled. What I thought was a big wall wasn't a wall at all. So, what else did I have in the financial? That is basically it. So let's just kind of tie things up. The last part of the financial is connected to the most important thing, which is this channel. And I've been asking the Most High for some insight on how to go forward. Back in the fall, I thought I was going to do videos more from a behind the scenes sort of thing. And I did a few, and it still wasn't, it didn't seem right. And finally, in this fast time, a couple of people came across my path, and it's just like, ah, that is it. They're not doing exactly what I'm doing, but they are doing things in a creative way that I can see myself now doing. So, though I wanted to do lives, though I wanted to do lives based on the fact that things in the environment where I was living was going to be different, but it turned into a point where there were too many ears. I couldn't do my lives the way I wanted to do them. So even though I wanted to do like a 75-day hard lives every day and all, I couldn't. So I I know the Most High put those walls there so that I could listen and like just tune in and listen to what he had to say. And what he had to say was, you need to do things the way you're supposed to do things, not the way somebody else is doing it, going live every day and all. No, that is not you. Besides, I don't have that energy. Right? I am an introvert, so all the energy that people have doing their lives, I may not I have a different energy level. Let's just say my energy goes in spurts. So now moving forward with this channel, a lot of the videos that are up now are going to disappear. They're just going to disappear because of the way I'm moving forward. The first thing that I have to say is the Most High will be number one. So this may be the video that people will see when they first come to the channel. The Most High is going to be number one. And I'm going to be talking about the Most High. I'm going to be saying his name, and I use the restored names, and I also use Bantu names. So I would use Yah, I would use Yehoah, I would use all the different ways they would say it based on Kikongo. So instead of Elohim, I say Elimo. You will see me saying that. You will see me speaking about the Most High in my talks now. So if that is a problem for people who are subscribed, I know that I'm going to get people to unsubscribe, and that's fine by me. It's the Most High who's the one that told me to do this, and I am not going to go back on what He told me to do. So that is what's going to be happening. I'm going to be taking off a lot of the videos, and I'm going to be really incorporating my songs into my talks because that is what I'm supposed to be doing eventually, doing singing and speaking. And I'm just going to do them a cappella because that is how I have to do it until I get to a location where I can partner with people who can do the music for me. So I just took a course in GarageBand, and before it was just like, I can't figure this out. And now it's just, it looks so easy. Like I had been playing around with various other projects or other programs, and it just, it wasn't clicking. And I took this course on GarageBand, and it's like, yes, but I have to have the computer set up properly. My old computer won't, it won't update. So a lot of things have to come, but it cannot come until I do that move that I talked about. So that is the biggest thing that the financial aspect has, that the channel itself is going to go in a different direction even than what I thought it was going to go in the fall. And it's going to take a little bit to get going because these are dramatic videos that I'll be doing. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So there might be a lull between this video and the time I do the first dramatic video. But it's it, it it's really how I used to speak. And I've been trying to get back to doing that somehow on YouTube, and it just hasn't been working with what I've been doing. So that is the wrap up of the financial. So that's how the Daniel fast went for me. It was a lot of basically coming together. Pieces that were just all over the place finally came together with the fast. It's like the Most High needed to, my mind was scattered, and I just needed to have the fast so that my mind would be clear enough for Him to speak to me. And now every day, that is my quiet time. Even though I did it before, now it's really, really focused. That I don't go until I hear what the Most High has said. What do you have to say to me today, Most High? And He gives me information, and then I go. So that is my basic. That is my biggest takeaway. My channel was my biggest takeaway. So I'm finally excited that I can marry all of the different. I have other channels that I've been working on in the background that I just kind of let go, and now I can marry all of them together, and all the videos will kind of be along the same style, but just different topics. Yeah. So That is what the Daniel fast did for me. That's what it did for me. It made my mind more in tune with the Most High, and it made me more focused. And it brought clarity to what I am going to be doing with the Sambuka channel. So that is a wrap for me. This has been Sambuka. Remember, if you liked this video or if you will find it helpful to someone, pass it on, share it out, and remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, remember to sprinkle your deliciousness throughout your day and be infectious to all who come your way. Just color. Bye bye.